Hi everyone, welcome back. Today we're going to be getting ready together and I'm just going to be chatting with you. We have a new family member that I'm going to be sharing with you and we're just going to try a few new things, some older things too, and do our makeup together. But we have a new addition to our family and I kind of wanted to share the story of how we found him. So if you are new here, my name is Blair. I do all kinds of beauty and makeup content here on YouTube every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. I hope you'll subscribe and let's go ahead and get into the video. All right, let's get started. So we're just gonna do a get ready with me. I am gonna try a few of new things that I did not try in my last video. So we're gonna use the Saie concealer today and a few other random things that are new and I haven't used them in videos. So that's what we're gonna do today, and I'm gonna tell you all about our newest family member. I'm just gonna go in with some Charlotte Tilbury Corrector. If you follow me on Instagram, you might have seen on my story I posted a video. We got a new family member a few days ago, so I actually haven't really been putting on makeup in a few days. We have a new baby kitten and his name is Louis, so I named him after Louis Vuitton. I've always wanted to name a dog or a cat Louis, and as soon as I saw this little baby kitten, I knew his name was Louis. So I wanted to kind of tell you how we found or how we got him, because it's kind of funny. So a few days ago, my husband and I went to Dollar Tree. It was a Dollar Tree that's pretty close to our house, but we had never been to it before. And so we had checked out, we came out of the store, got in the car, and we were leaving. And this particular Dollar Tree was off of a main road, but behind it, it had like, you know, a dumpster area that they typically do, and then like a field of grass. It was kind of, I guess it was grass, just an open field. And we kind of had to pull out of this Dollar Tree from the back. So you had to kind of go past like the dumpster and this field. And as we were pulling out, we look over and this little baby kitten comes running across through the grass and across the parking lot into like over where the dumpster area was. And of course my immediate reaction was, like I've kind of talked about this before. I already have one cat and I love her so much, Belle, that you've seen on my channel, but I just cannot take seeing like a homeless cat or dog, really. It just tears me up on the inside. So we kind of just sat there for a minute. My husband just kind of looked at me and he was like, we cannot go after that cat. You know, now's not a good time, blah, blah, blah. We are not bringing home a cat. And he kind of like pulls out into the road. Well, by this time I'm like hyperventilating because I mean, he was so freaking cute and tiny. And I mean, I was like, no, we have to go back and get this cat. And he was like, no, we can't do that. We won't be able to catch him. Like all of this stuff. And I mean, I didn't cry, but I had a little bit of a meltdown because I knew I could not go to sleep that night and know that I just left that baby kitten over there in that parking lot by a dumpster very close to a main road where he probably would have gotten hit by a car. I mean, I couldn't take it. Okay, so I'm gonna put in a little bit of my ColourPop brow gel. But anyway, back to the story. So we are like sitting at this stoplight that's like right across the road from the Dollar Tree, and I'm just not saying anything, but I think think my husband knew, okay, if I don't go back over there, she's about to like go off on me. So he pulls back into the parking lot and we pull back behind the Dollar Tree, and over in the corner by the dumpster, this little baby kitten was like backed into a corner. He's crying, and I mean, like I was on the verge of tears at this point because I love animals in general, but I am definitely a cat person. I love cats. And I just saw this little baby and I just could not stand it. So my husband gets out and he goes over to it very slowly. And I was sitting there watching like, okay, it's gonna run away. Like this is gonna be really difficult to catch him. And he kind of backed away at first, but then I guess he realized he was trying to help him and not hurt him. So he kind of got closer and closer and closer and closer, and then kind of got scared. He ran back across the road into the field that I was talking about, into the grass. So my husband is following him, and he's pretty close to him at this point, but he's just trying to be gentle and like really calm and not scare him anymore. Which he was a boy at this point. We didn't really know that he was a boy, but it is a boy. And so I finally get out of the car. A big delivery truck comes by, and of course that scares him, and he kind of runs back off into the grass even further. And so my husband follows him, and he gets really close to him again, and he is able to pick him up by his scruff, like how mom cats carry their kittens around. So I was like, oh my God, like we have to take this cat. How are we gonna, I don't have anything to like hold him with to take him home. So I like sprint back in the Dollar Tree because I was looking for like a towel or something that I could hold him with. And all I could find was a little dish towel. All right, before we move on, we're gonna do Light Wonder from Charlotte Tilbury today. So anyway, I'm going through Dollar Tree. The only thing I could find is a little dish towel. So I buy it, I run back outside, and my husband has gotten this baby over like by the car, just kind of holding him, like trying to keep him still until I came back. And that was it, you guys. We brought him home. Luckily, we weren't that far from our house. We were probably just 10 minutes from home. And when I tell you, this kitten was so, I don't even know how to describe it. He was just not like you would think a stray kitten would act. He was very, I mean, he was definitely a little hesitant at first, but normally when you find a cat like that, or a baby, they're very, you know, you don't know what they've been exposed to. They're scared of people a lot of the times, but he just wasn't really. And I don't know why that was. But anyway, so we get in the car. We start driving home. Also, my husband also ran a red light on the way home because he was so distracted, like trying to get us home. But we get home, and this little angel cat is just the sweetest thing, you guys. He is so precious. And I don't know how old he is. This was just a few days ago on Friday night, so it's Sunday now, so I haven't taken him to the vet yet. I'm gonna do that this week, but I mean, this cat is so sweet, and I've rescued a bunch of different cats throughout my life. We've had tons of cats, and the ones that we have found, like, you know, in a bush outside my old apartment, like the cats that we have found like that have been the best ones. And I'm telling you, he is the sweetest thing. He just wants to like cuddle. I mean, he's truly like a little cuddle bug. It is the cutest thing I have ever seen. All right, we're gonna try the Saie Hydrabeam today. This is the new concealer, the Sheer Brightening Under Eye Concealer. I thought about doing a separate video on this, but then I figured I wanted to sit down and tell you about Louis, so I figured we would just use some new things in this video and just kind of chat. So let me show you what this looks like. So this is shade number 2. So it has kind of an interesting applicator. It's a doe foot, but it's kind of like a pointed little doe foot. And again, this is shade number 2. So I'll swatch it for you so you can see. I will say, so that is shade number 2. I feel like this is going to be a good shade match. I can kind of tell just by looking at it. I think this is going to be a really light coverage product, but we'll try it. And put some there and out here. Okay, yeah, this is super thin. Like I almost can't even feel it going on my skin. I'm gonna blend this in with my Sigma brush. I do think this color is gonna be good for me. Shade 1 in this looked really, really fair. So I feel like if you would have to have pretty fair skin, I feel like, to wear shade number 1, because when I looked at it, it was very, very light. It's blending out very easily, but yeah, my first thought on this is it feels so thin. It almost feels like nothing. It's definitely, the finish of it, just looking at it, is kind of reminding me of the Revealer concealer from Kosas. Just definitely thinner formula than that, and definitely not quite as much coverage from what I'm seeing, but let me look. Ooh, yeah, it looks very pretty. Definitely pretty glowy initially under my eyes. So we'll see if it kind of sets down. I'm not gonna powder or anything right now, and we'll just kind of see. But I mean, it gives decent coverage, not a ton, but it looks pretty right now, but it does look pretty glowy. But let's use a little bit of this on my face too and just see how it blends. Yeah, it's very thin, you guys. Like, I feel like not much product comes off each time you dip the wand in. It's like not much at all. Okay, I'm gonna use the same brush I used for foundation and just kind of tap this in. Yeah, this color is really good for me. I definitely think they need more colors just from looking at the shade range. There's not a huge assortment. I want to say there's like 10 shades maybe. Okay, still no creasing. It looks really good under my eyes still. Yeah, it looks good. Looks very hydrating and pretty. So we'll see. You know, I tried the Dior Backstage concealer in my last video, and I've still been using that one. I still love that one. So we will see if this one compares to that one at all. This one, like I said, is definitely a lot less coverage, but I don't mind that. All right, I'm gonna set my face with some powder, and we're gonna use the e.l.f. Camo Powder Foundation. I don't think I've used this yet in a video. I've used it, but just not in a video. And I do like this. How I've been using it on myself is using it as kind of like a finishing powder over lighter weight base products, concealer, foundation, that kind of thing. So I figured we would do that again today. So this is the shade I have. It's 240W. And I think I'm just going to use this Olema Pure foundation brush. It's a really large, dense brush. And I'm just going to take this and just kind of tap over and just kind of lightly set. We are going to use a powder, bronzer, and blush today, so I want to just lightly set my face. So for bronzer, we're going to use my new bronzer I got from the Sephora haul recently, the Dior powder, no powder, the face and body in the shade 4 Neutral. I didn't use this in my last video because we used so many bronzers. We used Charlotte Tilbury, the Makeup by Mario products. It was just kind of a lot, so I figured we would use this one today. So I think I'm going to use this Sephora Pro 59 brush. I saw Melissa Herkman talking about how she loved to use the deeper shades of this powder as bronzer, and this shade in particular, 4 Neutral, is almost always out of stock online, but I was able to find it in store near me. Ooh, yeah, this is so pretty. It's very, very subtle, which I personally love. I feel like this would probably layer really, really well over a cream bronzer too. Taking some on the sides of my nose. Ooh, yeah, that is pretty. Yeah, that is really pretty. I've never used a face powder in a darker shade as bronzer before. Okay, I'm gonna use my Neutrogena blush in the shade Rosy. But yeah, back to our new little baby kitty. He has not really met my other cat, Belle, yet. We've been keeping them separated because I've been trying to research it a lot, and I know you have to keep, or you should keep them separate for a little while, so that's what we're doing right now. And I'm just gonna try and very, very gradually introduce them to each other, which my cat, Belle, when I was living at home with my parents, she lived with other cats. And then when I was in college, I lived in an apartment and she lived with me and an older cat who was also just the sweetest thing. His name was Copper, and he lived a long time. He lived, I think he was around 18 when he died, but he was just the sweetest thing. But anyway, she lived with him and she's very laid back, so I'm hoping after she gets used to the smell of Louis, she'll be okay. But I will keep you updated. Okay, so I'm gonna fill in my brows with NYX Micro Brow. I will bring him in here at the end too, so you can see him. He's taking a nap right now, but he's just, of all the cats we've had, and Belle is very sweet. She loves people, and you know, me and her have a very special relationship. So that's like been my only worry with bringing a new cat in, just because me and Belle are just very close and I don't want her to feel like she's being replaced, you know? But anyway, Louis is just the sweetest little thing. He just crawls all over you. I have so many like scratches all over my body right now because he just wants to be like touching you all the time. It's just the cutest thing. Okay, I'm gonna use a little bit of my MAC Painterly paint pot and just kind of add a little bit of this to my lid, and then we'll use a little bit of eyeshadow. Okay, I wanted to use this Wet n Wild Always Naked palette. I got this weeks ago and I never used it. I saw it the other day and wanted to use it in a video, So this is so pretty. So I think I'm going to take this shade in the corner. It's just like a matte peachy kind of brown color. I'm going to put this on my lid and up into my crease. Going back to Louis meeting Belle, he has not met her, but he has met Cosmo. So if you watch my videos, Cosmo is my golden retriever, and he is 7. Yeah, he's 7, and he's just, he's a gentle giant. He's very big and clumsy, but he's just so sweet. And he actually met Louis already, and Louis is not even like scared of him. And Cosmo seems to like him, so they're already friends. And it's only been like 2 days at this point, so that was really nice. They just became buds really fast, which I'm so happy about. So now we just gotta work on Miss Belle. But okay, that color is very pretty. I don't want to do a whole lot today. What should I use? Okay, I'm gonna take a little bit of, I think, this gray color. I'll take a little bit of that, like just tiny bit, and I'm gonna put that on the outer corner. Ooh, that's a good shade. I've tried Wet n Wild eyeshadows before, but it was one of the little 5-pan palettes, and I didn't love the formula on those, but this seems to be pretty good. I mean, they're blending really well so far. So yeah, if you have any tips for introducing cats to each other, let me know. Yeah, we're just gonna do it really gradually, and fingers crossed we are successful. All right, let's use one of these shimmers in the palette. Let's do maybe this like bronzy color. It's really pretty. I'm gonna put that on my lid, like all over. Ooh, yeah, that's really pretty. Ooh, I'm excited about this. I've seen a few people mention this eyeshadow palette from Wet n Wild. I think there was also like a rosy colored one. What is this one called? Always Naked. I think it's called like Always Blushing or something like that. I'm gonna take a little bit of this color. So this is a matte shade also, but it's a little more yellow toned than that first shade we used. And I'm gonna put a bit of this on the lower lash line. I think that's it. I don't want to do a whole lot, but this is definitely promising, this little Wet n Wild palette. Let me know if you tried this. I mean, you get a bunch of really good neutrals in here. You get some dark colors, some light colors, some shimmers. I'm just gonna take a little bit of this. I think this is a dark purple right here. I'm gonna use an angled brush. This one is the Smashbox brow and liner brush. I'm just gonna line a little bit with this and try to do a little bit of a shadow wing. Ooh, you guys, even these shades are pretty pigmented. They're not super patchy. Okay, that went on really well. This left side is always the trickier side. Okay, before we do mascara, I'm gonna do a little bit of Charlotte Tilbury Rock and Kohl pencil in Barbarella Brown, and I'm just gonna put this in my waterline, but I'm mainly focusing it like on this outer half where we did that wing. For mascara, I'm gonna use Essence Volume Stylist Lash Extension Mascara. I'm still kind of undecided about this one. I like it, but I don't know yet if I'm obsessed with it. I will say I haven't really noticed smudging with it, which is good because I've talked about before, I usually have issues with smudging with Essence Lash Princess mascaras. I haven't really noticed that with this one. Alright, for the lips, I wanted to use my new shade in the Tarte Maracuja Juicy Lip. This is the shade Primrose, but for lip liner, I think I'm going to use this one. This is Anastasia Hazelnut. And then I'll go get Little Buddy. So I just lined with that. And then I'm going to go over the top with the Tarte in the shade Primrose, which is kind of a rosier pink. One of you had asked me if these had like a burning tingle to them. To me, they don't. They definitely have a little bit of a tingle, but I feel like it's pretty mild. I don't think it's anything that would really bother most people, just in my opinion. But they are fantastic. I love them so much. All right, you guys, this is him. Louie, can you say hello to everyone? Are you gonna be shy? I mean, look at this sweet angel. Of course, he's not gonna be still. He's never been in here in the office with me, but I mean, this is the sweetest little muffin. Hey. Hey, he wants to get down and explore so bad. I know there's so many things to look at in here. But I mean, you guys, this little guy is so precious. He's just a little wiggle worm. You're a little wiggle worm. You're a little wiggle worm. But I just wanted to introduce you to my YouTube family. He's such a little angel. And he's already brought me so much, like, happiness. I mean, he's just the sweetest thing. So I wanted to share him with you. But thank you so much for watching. I did want to say this Saie concealer, pretty impressed, you guys. I did not set under my eyes. I have no powder under my eyes. They still look radiant a little bit, but they don't look greasy or anything. They definitely look like they're set down, but definitely still a little radiant. So I will keep you updated on what I think about this. But so far, I'm liking it. I love the eyeshadow too. So if you are wanting something new from the drugstore, new eyeshadow, I might look into that little Wet n Wild palette. But thank you for watching. I will see you guys next time for another video. Make sure to follow me over on Instagram at simply.blair and TikTok simply.blair1. I will see you next time. Sir, remember, simply be you.